No woman deserves to be talked to like that.
I'm not going to apologize.
Clare and Dale reacts to Men Tell All, and Dale has a strong message for Yosef. Hey guys, welcome back to another shared news from home. We have to talk about Clare and Dale's thoughts about Men Tell All. But before we get into it, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring, and I'm joined by the wonderful Gabby Gonta. Hello.
Hello, let's talk all about it.
Oh my gosh, yes, there is so much to unpack here. Clare and Dale took to Twitter and really did not hold back. First of all, Clare actually suggested on her Twitter that she wasn't allowed to attend Men Tell All, even though she would have liked to, which is an interesting take. After the episode aired, she tweeted, "I wish they would have let me be in attendance to let these men know in person how much their words and support have meant to me. Thank you, gentlemen, from the bottom of my heart." So I thought this was really interesting because I know when we watched Men Tell All and we recapped it, like we kind of mentioned, Clare and Dale they came back, they did their little catch up, and it would have felt maybe a little out of place to have Clare sort of be talking to guys who since fell in love with another Bachelorette. Like, just did feel kind of messy. But what do you think? Should we have had a moment for Clare to sort of, reconnect or speak or close, get some closure with her original guys? What did you think?
Yeah, this was interesting. I was surprised to see that she wasn't invited as well. I think it makes sense because I feel like the producers just want to focus on Tayshia's part of the season now. Since we were so, developed into it, and it was a much longer season as well. But yeah, I think Clare, it would have been nice to have her come out and say a few words, especially if she really wanted to see these guys again and sort of just get that closure and thank them as she was talking about. Yeah, so very interesting. I know back in Peter's season, I think it was also a big deal when Kelly wasn't invited to the Women Tell All. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure she was saying that it was because they were thinking she was going to reveal too much about the behind the scenes or give too many complaints or something, because there was some weird things going on with her and producers back then. But that was another shocking person who didn't end up at the Women Tell All. And then she ended up coming back later. And now, she's the one who ended up with Peter. So very strange situation, but it's very interesting to, try to figure out why the producers invite who and for what reason. Normally you would think maybe if they're not there, it's just because they had a schedule conflict. They couldn't come to the shooting day or something, but it's clearly, for some other reasons as well, usually.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that you're totally right. They probably wanted to just focus on Tayshia. We have so much going on. And I think they have, wanted to carve out a lot of space for Bennett and Noah to rehash things, some stuff that I think as viewers, even if Clare popped in on Zoom for just a quick, hi guys, wanted to thank you. I would have loved to have seen 3 minutes of that and 3 less minutes of Noah and Bennett. But whatever, it was what it was. And it was great overall, of course. Clare also liked a series of tweets about the episode, which is, I think, her sort of subtle way of really letting us know what she thought, how she felt as she was watching. And it certainly made her opinion on Yosef's presence totally clear because, again, she didn't get to come back, but a guy who was totally the worst, only on her part of the season, got quite a bit of screen time. So definitely some interesting takes there. One of the tweets she liked was someone who said that they love trash TV. They're a huge reality fan, but must we give Yosef a second 15 minutes? They basically were like, I forgot about him. I'm sure Clare did too. And another Twitter user tweeted, "He is an absolutely terrible person and no woman should ever be talked to that way, especially not on live TV. We stand with you, Clare." Sort of reiterating just support for his initial horrible tirade way back when. And she also went as far as retweeting Ben Higgins, who shared, "If everyone around you feels you are not behaving correctly or that you are causing damage with your actions, you should humble yourself to listen," he added. "Your opinion alone is not always truth. Beneficial, right, and loving accountability is actually an incredible thing." And honestly, Huge Ben fan, and that I think is the most eloquent way of describing my personal thoughts on Yosef. Such a solid tweet. I love that Clare retweeted it. So my question for you, Gabby, is, I mean, I know we already vented about Yosef being the worst, but was he given too much time? Like, should he have just been left at home? Do we think that maybe producers thought he would come on and apologize and then he just pulled a 180? I mean, what do you think?
I think that's a real possibility that they thought he might come on and apologize because, I mean, they asked him multiple times. Chris Harrison even took a moment to say, are you sure this is how you want to, leave the last few minutes that we're going to give you?
I want to try to help you help yourself. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff in 20 years, but that was really not a good look. It just, the way it escalated, the way you spoke.
And he ran with it, so.
But what I would love is if you could just see that and just be like, you know what? I do see that, and Clare, for that, I'm sorry.
I'm not going to apologize to Clare, and with all due respect.
I think they certainly didn't know what was going to come out of Yosef's mouth, but they were going to invite him back because, other than Yosef's sort of tirade, breakdown, craziness that happened on Clare's part of the season, there wasn't all that much drama between the guys. I think it was that, and then Noah and Bennett, and a little bit of Ed and Chasen. And other than that, it was pretty smooth sailing. So I feel like the men tell all wouldn't have been as explosive and crazy unless they had Yosef. And, it's a producer's dream to just have amazing drama and keep us guessing and all of that. So it totally makes sense why they brought him back. I could see why Clare was upset about it for sure. But these tweets, they say it all.
Oh my gosh, I totally agree with you. I mean, listen, I have to say, as much as it's like, I in principle hate that Yosef got another 15 minutes. It was crazy to watch, and it did elicit some drama out of the episode. So I get it. I see why they brought him back. Dale also hopped on Twitter to make his feelings about Yosef's behavior totally clear. And of course, it kind of took me back. I forgot that the drama with Yosef is another thing that really pulled Clare and Dale closer together. He obviously comforted her immediately after all of that went down. So I think it's safe to say that if Dale and Yosef ever ran into each other, Yosef would probably be getting quite the talking to, which he makes clear in this tweet. He said, "This fool had enough pride and arrogance to sit on TV and believe that's how a man should act towards a woman, even condoning that type of act towards his own daughter. How people ever actually defended someone like this and his actions is mind-numbing." Another really well put Yosef tweet. I mean, I think that there are certain Bachelorette villains that are just like always going to stand out as the worst. And Yosef has definitely landed a top spot in that category. But I kind of feel like enough about Yosef. We know he's the worst. I just thought it was really nice to see Dale sticking up for Clare. And I feel like this kind of is evidence pointing towards their relationship is still going strong. They pop up on social media. They're clearly having a great time with each other. And as someone who has to confess, I was totally skeptical way back when all this started. I'm really happy for them. What do you think?
Me too. I think Dale comforted her in that moment when it was really happening. And then he's sticking up for her now again as it's being rehashed on TV. So clearly he's been there, for all of this time and right by her side. And it's so good to see. I'm sure they were probably watching it together, at home. So it makes sense that they were just live tweeting it or sharing their thoughts. And, as your boyfriend or fiance, people are going to be looking to Dale to see how does he respond to this? How are things going with them? Because, it's just brought back to the Bachelor Nation fans' eyes and light. And so many people were talking about this moment on Twitter. So for them to be a part of the conversation, it just makes a lot of sense. And I'm glad they're doing well still.
I couldn't have said it better. I totally agree. I think it's great to see Clare and Dale happy and in love. And you guys, the crazy thing is we're about to see if Tayshia is able to, in the same season, find her own love of her life and walk away and hopefully be as happy as Clare and Dale are in a few months. So you guys, we want to know your thoughts on this crazy men tell all. Did you think Yosef had too much time? Do you agree with Clare and Dale's tweets? Let us know down in the comments. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss any future Bachelorette videos. As always, I'm your host, Fiona Zaring. I was joined by the wonderful Gabby Gonta. you want to come say hi, talk all things Bachelorette, our socials are on the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.